This presentation will be on the final generation we'll look at, and these are the millennials. Now let's look at the millennial 1980 to 2000 cohort. I know a lot of you will relate to this. A lot of you fall into this cohort, so I'm sure you look forward to this module. There have been a lot of studies conducted about the millennial generation. A lot of books have been written. One more popular academic book is by Howe and Strauss called Millennial Rising. Pretty dated at this point now, but they said the millennial generation will entirely recast the image of youth from downbeat and alienated to upbeat and engaged with potentially seismic consequences for America. So get ready for the impact that the millennials are going to have as they enter the workforce and the classrooms of the 21st century as they now begin to finish their education at the collegiate level and begin to be engaged in the workforce. Some of the shared experiences of the millennials, the things that happened with them, that they've experienced: the World Trade Center attacks, September 11th, the Oklahoma City bombing in the mid-90s, the Gulf War, the Iraq War, Columbine High School tragedy and the school shootings that happened and a lot of the things that happened as a result after that, the Hanging Chads debacle of the election in 2000, the space shuttle accidents. This generation, probably more than any other, has talked about the stressful, busy lives they have. With all the technology and all the things that they have at their grasp, they can't get away from it because they've always got to respond to a prompt, a Facebook or a IM message or something like that. So they are very busy, though, probably more so than in previous generations in the sense of the things that they're involved with, school-wise, other activities, and just the opportunities that they have. Some of the characteristics of the millennials: they have close parental relationships. Now, we talked about the Gen X's, how they were the latchkey kids and they didn't necessarily have this close relationship. Draw that scenario there because both their parents were working. So in reaction to that, you can see how the Gen Xers heard this term of the helicopter parent, kind of hovering over their kids, going the other extreme, and so they don't want their children to feel abandonment. Now, the baby boomers didn't intend that, but that was one of the outcomes of being latchkey kids for a lot of the Gen Xers that felt that way. The millennials have a close sphere of influence, very community-based within their groups. They tend to be attentive and respectful. They're programmed and team-oriented, like I said, very community. They feel a deep sense of pressure to succeed. They do get involved. They are more active and activists than I would say the Gen Xers by far. Maybe not to the level of the boomers were in the 60s with all the counterculture movement and things like that. And they are definitely, I think we'd all agree, multitaskers. Working with millennials in the classroom, they like to have a sense of control in their learning. They're really well independent, they're self-directed, they enjoy interaction with colleagues, so they do like discussion areas, they like working in groups if everybody's pulling their weight. It's frustrating for them, I think probably across the board for all generations when others aren't contributing, but especially for the millennials, they take it personally if somebody's not participating in a group activity. They like more structure, so they like to see things laid out and know where they're going. They know expected criteria up front. They like to have that. What do you want from me? What's the expectations? And obviously they're very comfortable with technology. They've grown up with it, and they expect us, whichever generation you're in, to be using it if you're going to be teaching as part of your curriculum and part of your activities. A few tips for teaching millennials: they do enjoy experiential learning, working through things and experiencing it and learning. Case studies would be good in this area, discussion areas, group projects, simulations, and things like that, where it really drives it home for them. Think about the video game experiences that they have and being in their community with their friends. They do enjoy more hands-on learning experience. Encourage development of learning communities. We talked a little bit about that already. The structure. They do want to have feedback. My generation, Gen X, no news is good news. No news for the millennials is bad news. They feel very insecure if they're not getting feedback at all. So you do want to provide feedback to them. Use technology. We talked about that already. Make it fun and be relevant. Don't force it, but just be natural, be relevant, and be there for them. They will appreciate that and know that you're on their team. This concludes our look at the different generations. We've looked at the 4 generations that you will probably be encountering if you're going to be doing any type of teaching or training in the future. And then this is going to continue on as the veteran generation go off the scene. Then we're going to be getting that M generation, that mobile generation, Gen Z, the 2000 cohort coming in. So I think this is going to be continue to be our trend of working amidst 4 different generations. So we're going to look at some of the ways of working and teaching in classrooms with all the groups together on the next few presentations.